What's up, everyone? It is Mitchell J, the Scaredy Cat Guide, with another crypto video for you today. So, um, positive price action. And I say positive price action because overall, that is what we're seeing in the crypto market. Now, depending on what crypto you watch in particular, you might be like, what are you talking about? We've done nothing but go sideways the last few days. And that's actually exactly what I mean by positive price action. So, obviously, we'll use Bitcoin as our lead example, and then we'll look at some other coins. And I want to look at some altcoins too that are been kind of ripping over the last day or so. So, anyway, if you look at Bitcoin, as we've talked about, we moved back up above this long-term trend line, kind of tested it, came up, consolidated, pulled, started to make a move up, maybe, make a run at that 10K. Sellers finally stepped in, sold us off on some volume, and then essentially bottomed out that level. We held it, we held it, we held it, and we basically just gone essentially sideways between being up, down, and then, now we're slightly up, very small up day, and now this is the new candle. You can barely even see it. It's been a few hours since this daily candle opened. Obviously, not much action in terms of volatility. But the point is, we essentially have stayed in this range of this 8,800 kind of bottom, and then obviously our top side is going to be about 96, 97, I think it is. So I consider that good price action because the bottom line is we made a move up, right? And we haven't sold off. I mean, we easily could have sold off and came back down to 7,900. Instead, consolidating sideways, consolidating sideways. I'm fine with the buyers and sellers being in a dogfight in a 800 point range. That is fine. So again, I look at this as positive price action. We essentially established a bottom, made a move higher. Again, we're making higher low, and that's the thing. We made this consolidation, essentially creating a higher low, and we've held that. So as long as we hold that, this is still positive price action because it's basically positive consolidation until hopefully we gear up to make another leg up and go after that 10,000 number. So at least that's my point of view in regards to the price action on Bitcoin. Let's take a look at Ethereum. Ethereum actually is fighting with that 680 or so level that we talked about, prior. Obviously, a lot of price action there, bounces, and we've been flirting with it. Poked through, came back down. Now we're dancing right there again. So hopefully, the second time is the trick here, and Ethereum can leg up and maybe make a run at these prior top, around 865, 870. But either way, again, pretty decent. Poke through this resistance level, pull back, and immediately, we're bouncing. And obviously, held this 200 day, which is good too. Not that it's been a major player with Ethereum. Take a look at Litecoin. Litecoin's really been doing a whole lot of nothing. I mean, it's consolidating sideways, which is good, but like it never really, it got like one move up and that was it. It didn't, it didn't participate in that first move like Ethereum and Bitcoin and several other coins. But whatever. I mean, the bottom line is as long as it's consolidating sideways, it's basically creating another base here around a buck 45. So as long as it stays above, closing prices stay above a buck 45, then the price action is definitely not negative. I mean, at worst it's neutral, but again, since the last move was up, I consider that positive because we're basically digesting an up move. So we'll see. We'll see if these bigger coins can leg up. In the meantime, let's look at some alts. Neo is one I've looked at before that I particularly like, and I actually own a decent position in, and acting really well. Got the move up. Basically we banged around for a while, and then it basically broke out and it legged up again. So this is yesterday's candle. This is today's candle. So you see too a little jump in volume compared to prior weeks. So that's good. Big body candle on some volume. Buyers came in. So now essentially we're at this last little kind of consolidation. Like on the way down, we had to like bounce sideways before it failed again. So this level right here around $90, $95 was kind of an upside target that I was looking at. And now that we're there, I'm curious if, we're going to run out of steam, especially since we basically just ripped from like 75 to 93. I don't know. We'll see. But bottom line is, this could possibly be a resting point, or it could blow on through and try and get to 100. We might even spike through 100, and then and possibly pull back. But anyway, you know, this was good price action. We made a move up. We consolidated, kind of like coiled up, and then boom, explosion. So yeah, obviously. The upside, I mean, 140 is the next real top, you know what I mean? That could be used as a profit target resistance. Obviously, a lot of stuff can happen in between there, but I like to see when the path of least resistance has that much upside. I mean, if you look at the chart, where's the next top? This is the last one. You know what I mean? This is clearly, and it bounced there here. So that 140 clearly is a resistance point, and that's really kind of the next upside target if we were to continue like legging up aggressively. But we'll see. We might test this level and pull back, and then obviously we could pull back even to like 82. Um, Clearly, this is the new bottom, the nearest most support at 72. So with Neo, we got a big range right now in terms of upside and downside. So it'll be interesting, but I like to see that we have a lot of clear territory, so to speak, on the upside, and you know, a fraction of that on the downside, even though, 22 points is a pretty big move, compared to 48 points, it works out because obviously, risk reward, we always want 2 to 1 or better. So, but yeah, I have a core position in this. I'm not going to do anything new with it. I was day trading a bit when it was bouncing around here. I made some decent money on this move and these moves, but those are just quick trades. I'm not looking to enter something new right here. We'll see if we end up consolidating here a bit. Then maybe I'll look to jump in with something new in terms of a trading position. But outside of that, I'm just holding my core position. I want to take a look at EOS because that's an alt that's been running crazy. So look at this bad boy, right? I mean, just stair step, and then vertical. I mean, this is basically vertical. So as you can see, it's pulling back a little bit today after getting this last big candle, and you can see we had a decent wick. Um, it actually made a late run to close, shrink this wick. It was a lot bigger. It was like, this price was down to like 20 a couple hours before the close, and if that was the case, that would have worried me more because it would have looked like a blow off top. I'm still not a huge fan of the upper wick, so this does not surprise me that we're getting a little bit of a pullback. But this thing's in beast mode right now. Obviously, you don't want to chase anything. We just broke the all-time high. 1867 was the intraday all-time high previously. So, we basically just closed above that, what is now 2 days ago in terms of the candles, and then pushed, higher, spiked up into the 20s, and now we're having a pullback. I don't think we were, if we see an aggressive sell-off, then obviously you're looking at, I guess the prior all-time high, 1870 call it, but then also this opening closing highs here of 16. Those would be the levels. So I guess, looking at like 1875 and then 16 as possible downside targets, because I mean, there is nothing clear here. I mean, obviously the last like consolidation was down here at like 14 and change, 1450. I mean, obviously that could happen, but so those in terms of downside potential targets, that's what I'd be looking at. I look at 1875, I look at 16, and then I look at this little consolidation, which can be a new support at 1450. I have a core position in this. I did some day trading. I bought some in this consolidation and luckily rode most of this. Sold some on the way up and actually sold the last lot of it somewhere just above 21 because it was before this candle closed and before the last hour where it got a little push. So I'm actually hoping I can get back in. I may actually speculate, even if it touches 20, I may dip my toes in. But again, that's more for a trading position. As for long term, it's very hard to enter here after such a move. If we can get a consolidation maybe like this, I would not mind seeing a day like this. And then, next day we get a push down test and then kind of same thing. Like if we can get this exact same thing, then that would be an opportunity to maybe get long and kind of chase this thing, so to speak. But right now, I mean, if you're not already in it, you're kind of chasing it. If, again, this candle ends up doing something like this, then maybe you can enter using the low of this candle as you're out. So, you're protected instead of just who knows where it can go. But again, these are more, day trading stuff if you're looking to be super active. As far as, longer term, wait for an entry at this point. Hopefully we get some consolidation at a minimum to give us an opportunity to get in. So we've seen it obviously here, and then same thing here and here. So if we can get any kind of price action like this or this, at least, because otherwise you're just chasing. Anyway, this video ran super long, but that's it. Take that information, as you will. Make your own decisions. Obviously, I talked about some kind of day trading point of view stuff, as well as the, just long-term position managing principles as well. So hopefully you gleaned something from all that information. And that's it for now. I will catch you guys on the next video, and I will drop a link in the video notes as always for the free Bitcoin ebook, and then usually that'll give you some information on the crypto class that teaches this stuff. All right, the Scaredy Cat Guide, and I'm out.